This summer, China had its most intense and continuous heat wave on record, resulting in wildfires, power disruptions, and crop failures. The heat wave has lasted 72 days throughout some parts of northwest, central, and southeast China. The previous record was 62 days, set in 2013. According to the Chinese Meteorological Administration, the heat wave from August 15 was the strongest since records began in 1961, with the biggest coverage of temperatures above 40 degrees Celsius in history. Many provinces continued to experience high temperatures. Chinese and foreign experts are blaming climate change on the use of fossil fuels. On Saturday, Chen Lijuan of the National Climate Center told state media, against the backdrop of global warming, heat waves will be the new normal. The high temperature begins early, ends late, and lasts a long time. This will become more apparent in the future. According to climate attribution specialist Friedrich Otto, heat waves in China have become more common, more intense, and longer due to human-induced climate change. While the heat wave has afflicted most of China, the central region of Sichuan has been hammered the hardest. Dan Chong of the Straits Times said that the soles of his shoes had melted in Sichuan's main city of Chongqing due to the heat, while Sohu reported that a grape field in the province had dried to raisins due to the heat. Chongqing is expected to remain scorching for the rest of the week before experiencing cooler, wetter weather. Rainfall has been little. The heat and dry conditions have aided the spread of wildfires. The air smelled of smoke all night. When I woke up in the morning, the balcony was full with soot and large pieces of objects had blown over and charred by the wind, one Chongqing resident wrote on Weibo yesterday. Crops have also suffered as a result of the drought and heat. According to data provided on Thursday by China's Ministry of Emergency Management, the drought resulted in a direct economic loss of 2.73 billion Chinese yuan, $400 million. The weather has caused power outages. Sichuan is primarily reliant on hydropower. Dry circumstances have lowered reservoir water levels and, thus, the electricity generated by hydropower turbines. Simultaneously, hot weather has raised a demand for electric air conditioning. Because of the lack of electricity, firms have had to close, impacting international supply lines. Last week, Tesla, Toyota, and Foxconn suppliers went on strike for 6 days. Energy researcher David Fishman reported that Shanghai, where he lives, has been sweating in temperatures ranging from 38 to 40 degrees Celsius every day. During the day, I stay indoors, he explained. While air conditioning is now available to Fishman and most people in Shanghai, it is less widespread in rural places. According to advocates, the crisis has increased climate consciousness. Many in China are starting to call 2022 the first year of the new climate period, Greenpeace East Asia's Li Shua told Climate Home. From now on, the only norm may be an aberration. According to Dimitri Debord of Client Earth China, the heat wave received extensive coverage in Chinese media. I've seen more and more coverage that makes the connection between climate change and the need to hasten the climate transition, he said. To compensate for the hydropower deficit, the government has expanded its support for coal in the short term. Last week, Vice Premier Han Zhang stated that coal use was up 15% in the first 2 weeks of August and that he would increase policy assistance and take several measures to help coal plants reduce actual difficulties.